If you're a real estate photographer and you're in the market for a wide APS-C lens, then look no further than this. This is the Sigma 10-18 f2.8 lens. It really is a thing of beauty. It's small, it's compact, it's lightweight, it's everything you need from a wide lens for shooting property with. And it might actually mean that I'm going to switch from shooting with a full frame camera to an APS-C camera. So if you keep watching, I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm thinking of doing that too. So here it is, I've got it connected to the Sony ZV-E10, and as you can see, it's a super small, lightweight setup. I've got it connected to this because it's the only APS-C camera that I own. I am looking at getting the A6700, but to be honest, I've been really impressed at how this little setup has worked out. Both the lens is brilliant, and also the ZV-E10 actually takes great photos, and you can easily get away with using this to shoot property photos on, and you wouldn't have any issue from your client, because I'm going to show you some examples later and they look absolutely fine. And this lens has really held up well, and it's really why I'm looking at changing to an APS-C camera, partly because of, like I say, the size and the weight. And as you can see here, the ZV-E10 with this lens fitted on comes in at 653 grams, whilst the A7 III comes in at 1,487 grams. And because this is what I used to shoot with, the full frame A7 III and the Sigma 14 to 24mm lens. And the A7 III isn't a very big camera, but just when partnered with this lens, it really does become quite heavy. And when you're working all day out in properties, you can be in properties for an hour or longer maybe, and if you've got a heavy camera like this, it can really take its toll and become quite tiring. So having this small, lightweight setup really is an advantage. So let's get into talking about the specs of this little camera. It is a 10-18mm lens, so once you've put on the 1.5 times crop, it is a 15-27mm lens equivalent. And that's absolutely perfect, because this lens here I was showing you, the 14-24, and a lot of people shoot with 16-35, so if you're in that range, sort of 14-16mm at the widest point, that's going to be ideal for shooting property with. In terms of the size and weight of this little lens, it weighs in at 255 grams, and the length of it is 72mm and the width is 64mm, which is pretty similar to the 11mm lens that Sony brought out last year. So it really is a great small little option. It is dust and weather sealed, and sometimes you can get caught in the rain taking shots of the exteriors. So to know that it is weather sealed is really beneficial. It has a minimum focus distance of 11.6 centimeters, which, to be honest, if you shoot in real estate, isn't something you really need to consider, but it's good to know that you can get close up to things if you feel the need to. So let's take a look at some of the images I've recently shot with this, the Sigma 10-18 and the Sony ZV-E10. So I'm just going to show you a couple of images I shot the other day in property, and these were both taken using the HDR process of taking the photos, i.e. taking 3 shots 2 stops apart. So I'm going to show you the ambient shots first, or the raw ambient shots, just to show you what it's like straight out of camera, and then I'll show you the edited shots, just to show you what you can achieve using this lens and camera combo. So let's take a look at this living room shot first. Like I say, this is the ambient shot, raw, straight out of camera. And if we go full screen on it, hang on a sec, there we go. And we'll zoom into the middle first, and we can see nice and sharp there. And also around the windows, there's no chromatic aberration. And if we go out to the corners, you can see again, it's nice and sharp here. You can read everything in the writing, and also no lens distortion either. I mean, this looks a bit off, but that's because I didn't get my camera quite straight, but that can be easily corrected. One thing you do have to keep in mind though is when you use this lens, you do need to set your camera to auto correction. Otherwise you will get distortion around the edges. So make sure you remember to do that. So let's take a look at the next image now. So here we have the next image, this kitchen. So again, we're just going to full screen and zoom in on those flowers in the middle. And again, you can see that's nice and sharp in the middle. And again, around the windows, no chromatic aberration. As I say, these are the raw ambient shots. That's why the window's a little bit blown out. And again, into the sides and the corners, you can see lots of detail in there. So here we have the final images which have been edited together. So as I say, these were taken HDR, so 3 shots 2 stops apart. So Let's just go full screen, and as you can see, this is a great looking image, no problems there. The lens and camera combo have done a great job. And again, let's look at the kitchen shot, and again, got a lovely looking image. Absolutely no problem using this for real estate. And like I say, this combo of the 10-18 and the ZV-E10 really does work well, given that the ZV-E10 now you can pick up for about £550. So if you're on a budget, this really is a great combination to use to get started in real estate photography. So going back to the original point I made at the start of this video about why I'm thinking of switching to APS-C cameras for my photography anyway. I mean, part of the reason obviously is price. I mean, these do cost a lot less than their full frame counterparts. This lens here costs £650, whereas this lens here costs about £1,200. So it's nearly half the price. So for that, you could probably get another lens. And it's something I haven't really bought a lot of because of the cost with my full frame camera. So that is a massive benefit, as well as obviously being small and lightweight, which is something I value. But on top of that, Sony seems to be investing a lot more time into their APS-C range. They released the a6700 last year, which is a fantastic camera, which is the one I'm going to get, and that's got the same sensor as the FX30. Along with that, they released those 3 wide lenses last year, and then you've got companies like Sigma releasing lenses like this. Really does feel like the way to go for me, because I like a lightweight setup, and also because of that I probably will take my camera out more and shoot a lot more outside of my work, because with this, I mean, obviously I'm not going to use the wide lens for shooting family photos, but I just don't take it out as much. And if I've got a really nice APS-C setup, I will start taking more photos, which is what I want to do, not just take photos on my iPhone. I want to start shooting more photos with my proper camera, and having a small APS-C size camera just is a better option to do that. So I really think I am going to make the switch to APS-C cameras and get that a6700. So it's something that you've been thinking of too. Let me know in the comments below. It'd be great to hear what your thoughts are on this. So if you are in the market for a wide angle APS-C lens, you really couldn't go wrong with this, because it delivers really sharp images with little distortion, which is just perfect for shooting property with. It's also great for shooting landscapes or astrophotography because it's got that f2.8 aperture. I know there are other options out there like the Tamron 11-20 or the Sony 10-18 or 10-20, but I've not used any of those. So if you have, let me know what you think in the comments below. And also if you've used this, let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you want to check out another video of what I think of the ZV-E10 for shooting real estate video, you can watch this video here. But thanks for watching, guys, and happy shooting.